What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today we are taking a look at the finals from this week's Community Gaming Latin America Marvel Snap Tournament. Yesterday we looked at the third place finals, but today we are on to the grand finals here, and we have two great competitors, Cass playing Blob Thanos, and Toto playing Bounce Monkey, which is not a deck that was on my radar at all. It's not even really a deck that I knew existed exactly, but I've tried out this list. It's pretty cool. So maybe give it a shot yourself if you like what you see here in this video. Now, I do know who is going to win the grand finals, but I haven't seen any of these games yet, so I'm watching it live and experiencing it all with you here. It's also in a foreign language, so I will translate what needs to be translated. We've got Deep Space as that first location, both players dodging that, and then Central Park is location number 2. That one doesn't require a translation. A bunch of squirrels, but Toto's got a bunch of way to pick those squirrels up, which means I feel like this kind of favors them. Falcon is going to do just that, picking up the Hawkeye alongside all of those squirrels here, and that I do think gives Toto a full hand. Kaz is checking that out as well. No play from Kaz on turn 3. Yeah, this is not looking like a super strong start. Bishop from Toto. I think we could see a snap from Toto. Yeah, you gotta punish that no turn 3 play. No Time Stone and no Psylocke especially, and no Okoye or Lockjaw. This Kaz obviously is not playing Lockjaw in their list, but if you don't see any of those cards come out on turn 3, I think that is a great snap to apply some pressure down. Reality Stone is going to get rid of Necrosha, which probably helps Toto just as much as it helps Cass. This is a deck that likes to fill all 3 locations. It's more or less a Dazzler deck with Hitmonkey and Mysterio filling up a lot of those locations, and we also have those squirrels that might make an appearance on the final turn. Lechugia coming out of the Reality Stone. Hawkeye gonna get dropped back into Central Park, and this is just a beast for 4 points into 5 if you count the 1 into Bishop, but this is just a blank beast here into Deep Space. Cass gets to play 2 of these cards here now. So Vision could keep a little bit of flexibility, but Devil Dinosaur is a lot more power, and then potentially Magneto could move some things around and get a little bit funky. We're going to see that Devil Dinosaur come out as an Iron Man. Drops down in Central Park for Toto, trying to avoid Lechugia, give themselves one more ability to find that Hitmonkey. We do see a rock here for Kaz, and they can move Jeff so that way they don't have any power wasted in Central Park. And they could go for the Magneto. That seems reasonable. And then moving Jeff into either Lechugia or Deep Space. I think that's going to be the play. Oh no, they're going to battle for Central Park? Well, I don't hate it. Putting themselves up to 17 in that center location. No, okay. They are going to move the Jeff out and go for Magneto in Deep Space. Sounds good. And just not messing around in that Iron Man location, though it could have been interesting to try to play for it. You do also kind of want to battle for Deep Space at the same time. And if you're going to battle for a location, might as well battle for the location your opponent does not have Iron Man at. So this is really going to come down to Deep Space, and can Toto find a way to put like 9 power into Deep Space with no abilities? Might actually be a little bit tough. What could they come up with here? I'm looking over at the deck list. There's not much, which means I think they have to battle in Lechugia. They're going to need really just a Hitmonkey could do it. A Mysterio, a Squirrel, and a Hitmonkey is a pretty big monkey. Yeah, like I said, this is a Dazzler deck. We're going to see all 3 locations get completely filled. But let's see how much power that actually is. Forge, and do we have the Hitmonkey? No, can't be. That would be too much energy. It's going to be Nico, which gets them pretty close, but 14 is not going to be enough. And a pair of squirrels, oh wait, it is, the squirrels pump up the bishop. I forgot the squirrels were pumping the bishop there. The illusion will actually make them go down in power in Central Park, and then of course the Mysterio clone gets to add 4 more power. Okay, it wasn't actually that close. I forgot about the Mysterio clone and I forgot about the bishop. I'm watching it all live here, so we're getting some fun reactions. But there you go. There is Bounce Monkey in action there from Toto. Wasn't like particularly impressive numbers, but the locations kind of held both players back there, with the Central Park denying Toto a draw once they returned those squirrels to their hand. We have got Sinister London as Londra di Sinistro as location number 1 here, and we're going to see Mind Stone draw almost all of the stones out of Cass's deck here, all but Reality Stone, and a double forge for Toto. Murder World is going to be great. Mundo Assassino is going to be perfect, because that's going to... Cass has too many stones right now, in my opinion. So being able to dump some of those stones away, we actually see a snap back from Toto though, and Time Stone sets up for a double vision play next turn. That could be really good, and then they're planning on killing off a bunch of their own stones by the looks of it. Yeah, they are thinking about not playing 2 draw stones though, because then you'll actually deny yourself a draw. Not going to play the Time Stone this turn. They're just going to play Space Stone as a way to clean up that Mind Stone. You do, if you play Vision on turn 3, risk your Vision potentially landing in Mundo Assassino. So that is potentially what Cass is playing around here. We're going to see the Falcons return both of those forges to Toto's hand, giving them 14 power, but allowing them to use those forges again into Londra di Sinistro. So this could definitely work here. Now we are going to see Time Stone. Will we see Soul Stone come out in Sinister London? No, Soul Stone's going to go over into the Bugle, and they are going to use the Murder World to clear out some of those stones, hoping the Time Stone lands center, and it does. So that way they're going to have a lot more space to play their more important cards. They don't have Blue Marvel, so just getting those stones off the field in a Sinister London game is going to wind up being pretty important. Sinister London is a cool location with Hit Monkey, because the first monkey gets to do its on reveal, move to the next location, copying all of those stats, and then trigger again. So that could be a really powerful maneuver here. We're just going to see Vision for Cass, which is kind of interesting because they are going to have 5 energy that they could have played Vision with next turn. Daily Bugle is giving a Mysterio, so we know that there is a Mysterio for Toto, but actually Mysterio could do kind of well with Forge. It's kind of like a Bast in some aspects, I believe. No, you know what? I'm sorry, that isn't how that works. So Forge only pumps up the leftmost clone. It doesn't pump up all 3 clones. So that is how that works. And a really neat play with Nico to move Forge out of Sinister London. They are still going to run out of space a little bit on the board, because they can play 3 cards into Sinister London, but they can only make copies of 2 of those cards. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. And then here is, like I said, not a great turn for Cass, because they used the previous turn to only spend 5 energy. They could have had 5 energy to spend this turn, but now they're kind of in an awkward spot. So if they use Psylocke, then they do get to play Jeff next turn. That's kind of cute. Okoye will get to pump up Blob, and I guess it doesn't really matter when you get to drop a Blob into Sinister London. You're probably feeling pretty good about whatever else you can do. Could have dropped double Okoye here, but I think they just want to give themselves maximum maneuverability, and they don't want to worry about one of these Okoyes landing in Daily Bugle. So we're going to see 1 Okoye trigger, and only 1 card here from Toto. That's going to be a souped up Iron Man, which is pretty good. Iron Man with 4 power. That's basically what you're getting out of a Mr. Negative deck. That could actually battle for Blob. that could do it. We're going to see the Blob come down and battle up against Iron Man here. They're kind of wanting the Blob to go center, but they could use both of the visions. That will put the center location up to 21 exactly, which is a pretty dang good number to have. And then Blob should be able to win that second Daily Bugle, even if Thanos can put a bunch of points at the other locations. I don't think they're going to be able to win that second Daily Bugle. It's actually very, very close, but nice math there from Cass to see that 21 can just squeak out a victory in that center location. So that was really, really well played by them. That is going to earn them 6 cubes, and now they are up 6 cubes to 4 as we move into game 3. Not a huge blob either, but they gave themselves the maximum maneuverability. And like I said, they could have added like 4 more power to that blob, maybe 6 more. They didn't draw too many. No, they did draw all their stones, right? Yeah, with Mind Stone. I forgot. Iceman here into this first location. I forget what it is called exactly. Just called Mountain of Eternia, probably. It adds a rock to the player losing their turn 3, and then we've got Baxter building with no name change there. A lot of just total cognates here. I believe that is the word for words that do not change from language to language. And then we've got Avengers Compound and Baxter building kind of locking it down, but no turn 3 play again from Cass cannot be good. Plus a Bast from Toto makes me feel like if I'm Toto, I'm looking to snap here. And there it is. There's the snap, and that's going to be a very quick retreat from Cass. Good snap, good retreat. Yeah, nothing more to say about that one. Fuga, we are out of that one, and now on to game 4 with the players very close at 5 to 4 cubes split among them. Okoye, Psylocke, I think this one's just called the Abbey. First player to put 2 cards there, draws a card, exactly 2 cards you need, but Hawkeye is a pretty good start. Jotunheim, not a great location. We see a snap from Toto. Could this be another retreat? Well, we've got the Okoye, and Okoye is kind of a good high roll. Interestingly, I talked to Cass after this tournament, and they did say that they're not sure they would keep Okoye in this list. They didn't give me what they would replace it with, but they do think that Okoye wasn't really pulling its weight. And I'm personally not playing Okoye in Blob Thanos currently. It's hit or miss, right? Here we have the turn 3 Psylocke to set up for that Professor or Blue Marvel play, and I think they're looking to Professor into Monster Metropolis. Forge did draw a card out of the Abbey though for Toto. So Toto could have some big plays coming up here. Just going to come down to okay and a Beast to really leave this on the table. And this is, yeah, that's got to be the quickest Professor X ever. This is more or less a 1 location. And if Toto commits some resources to Monster Metropolis here, like playing their Hawkeye, then you're kind of getting power in multiple locations for your Professor because you're denying their ability to play those cards elsewhere. 4 cubes could be the final game here for Toto. Cass still with 1 extra cube to spare, but this Professor X is looking to win a location. Thanos is probably looking reasonable in Jotunheim, and also with Blue Marvel, there's like 0 risk to Professor Xing this turn, but there's already like no risk to Professor Xing this turn. See a few cards come down from Toto, and we do see the Bishop, but how big would that Bishop need to get? Is it possible? Is it possible the Bishop could become big enough to actually win the location? Maybe, but not when you factor in the Blue Marvel on top of that. And we might not even see Blue Marvel. I think we could just see Devil Dinosaur Thanos into Jotunheim. I think that might be how you get the most power into another location, because you need to win 2 locations to win the game. So yeah, we are gonna look to, no, it is gonna be Blue Marvel. It's a tough call. This is looking still good for Toto. For my money here, there goes the Iron Man. It's a non-buffed up Iron Man. Can't really throw that in Jotunheim. We're just going to see a bunch of cards plus Hit Monkey come down into Jotunheim on this final turn, so that way you don't get that many points taken away from you. And oh, Devil Dinosaur plus Mind Stone might actually be more than Thanos. We got to do the math here real quick. Yes, it is. It is even, and you can play the Mind Stone into Jotunheim as well, and it's a 2-point Mind Stone as well, because it will be pumped up by the Blue Marvel. So, interestingly, kind of punished for not playing Devil Dinosaur last turn, but still playing Devil Dinosaur this turn is going to be big enough. Bishop is not going to be able to overtake the Monster Metropolis. I can't imagine with 4 more hits into the Bishop. And is this Devil Dinosaur going to be big enough? That is really the only question here. Did Toto find the Hit Monkey? There's Mysterio, there's Hit Monkey, but how big is it? It's not going to be big enough than Devil Dinosaur because there's just not enough space on the board to grow that Hit Monkey. So unfortunately, that is going to be the end there for Toto. That was such a close game with just 1 more point needed in Monster Metropolis for Toto to get the tie there. That would have won them the game and potentially won them the whole match. It was a 4-cube game. It would have been definitely really big, but Blob Thanos does stay on top. Probably the best deck right now. Just has a lot of maneuverability with all of the stones. I've talked about that previously on the channel as well, but Blob Thanos is going to come out on top. We can take a look at both of these decks here. Cass, like I said, did mention that Okoye they weren't super impressed with, but they also haven't been impressed with Nico Minoru, so they're not sure exactly what other card needs to go in the list. Probably a cheap card, but hey, this list won them a tournament, so definitely not too shabby here. And like I said, I have also tried out this Bounce Monkey list here from Toto, and it's pretty impressive. Now, Professor X isn't really what you want to be playing against, but just because of how it locks down the locations, that really prevents a lot of your scaling. Even if they Professor X in like just a random location, just less spots on the board means that you're going to have a smaller Hit Monkey and a smaller Bishop, which as we can see in this one was Toto's undoing. But the deck can definitely still pull out wins, still beat Blob. You just win those other 2 lanes, unfortunately, because Blob is such a menace in the lane that it is in. But for today, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.